Give me Wisdom of Solomon 18:7. So what you gotta understand, sis, because this happened to our people, part of our salvation is, guess what? When the Lord sets up his nation, when the Lord sets up his kingdom on earth, another kingdom has to go. You understand? And this man, he's not gonna give it up easily. Nobody's gonna give up the top spot without a fight. So as we come back to the top, guess what? This man gotta go. And I'm gonna show you that. Read that. Wisdom of Solomon 18:7.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18 and verse 7. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous.
The righteous is us, because why? The laws of God were given to us, meaning we have the ability to keep the commandments and serve the Most High God. So we are the righteous, read.
And destruction of the enemies.
So you have to keep the commandments, and you have to, guess what? You have to accept the destruction of the people that did this unto you.
That's right.
Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. I'm going to show you something. Actually, give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and then we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. Understand something, sis. What's your name? Monica. God said that we are a holy and chosen people above all people on the face of the earth. Are we taught that in society today?
Jesus tells us to obey.
We're not taught that, are we? What are we shown in society? That we're the bottom. We're shown that we are the undesirables wherever we go. Whether it's here in Kansas City, Dallas, Texas, Louisville, it don't matter where you go. You are always shown as the undesirables. But the Bible, which is in every pastor's church, which is in every church that is on every corner in our community, this verse is written here, and I'm going to show you what it says. Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
When he says, when Moses is speaking, he said, for thou art, he's talking to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's speaking to the Israelites. He says, you are a holy people unto the Lord thy God. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
The Lord thy God hath chosen us. Above all the nations on the earth, he chose the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
To be a special people unto himself.
He chose us to be special unto himself. So why is it that if we're special unto God, why are we not like that on the earth today? What's happened to us? What's happened to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we're no longer viewed as special unto God? What happened to us? What do you think happened to us? What do you think happened to us, sis?
The blood of the cross. He gave his life so that all
Hold on, sis. Hold on. Shh. What do you think happened to us? I'm going to show you what happened to us. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. I'm going to show you something, sis. We've always been bound to this Bible, but we've been taught lies about it. Whether we believe it or not, we are spiritually bound to the Bible. If we do good, there's blessings, as we read in Revelation 22 and 14. But when we sin, there's curses that come upon us.
That's right.
And that's why we're in the conditions that we are today. I'm going to show you Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Because he's speaking to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans again. He said, if we do not listen and hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To observe, to do all his commandments that was written.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So we agree. He said, if you don't keep the commandments of the Lord, all these curses will come upon this specific people, right? So let's see what some of the curses are to identify who these people are. Come here, sis. I seen you looking earlier. Come here. I want you to hear this too. So listen. It said these curses will come upon this specific people, right? So let's see what one of the curses are.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Now, Veronica, my sister right here, it says one of the curses that's going to come upon these people is they're going to be cursed in the city. Meaning wherever they go, they're going to be on the bottom. Wherever they go, it's going to be high murder rates. Wherever they go, it's going to be single-parent households. Wherever they go, it's going to be dilapidated buildings, projects. Who fills this place? We do, right? Talking about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So it's safe to say that we're cursed in the city, right? Let's keep reading on the curses and see who else, what other curses, these curses identify us in the last day. Keep reading.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now it says, not only are you going to be cursed in the city, you also going to be cursed in the field. So my sister, let me ask y'all something. Who was in the slave field picking the cotton? Who was in the slave fields picking the cotton? What do you see right here? That's our people. Did all people pick cotton?
I had before.
You pick cotton, but I'm saying, have you ever seen the so-called white man go out in the field and pick cotton?
No, they said that's
Have you ever seen them go out to the pick tobacco? Have you ever seen them pick the sugar cane? No. So when it says curse in the field would be, you ever worked a 12-hour shift before? You get to sit down, you get to take breaks, right? So they kind of make it easy, but 12-hour shift is still a 12-hour shift. Still long, strenuous, right? So now imagine being outside. It's 97 degrees today. We're talking about in the South, we're talking about 100 plus degrees daily. Picking cotton from sun up to sundown, no breaks. With your baby on your back. Sun up to sundown, and you got a quota to fix. Who did this happen to? It happened to us so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now give me verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So whenever you break the laws of God, God said, guess what? Your sons and your daughters, they're going to be given unto another people. So now we can look at the sign again. What's going on right here? What's going on? What it look like? What the picture look like? Describe the picture to me. They being sold. The family's up there on the auction slave block, just like you are right now, and the master would say, I got a slave woman right here, 28 years old, good bones, never been with a man. And they would begin to bid on you to sell you to a different plantation. So now you ask yourself, what's your last name? What's your last name? Jones and Jackson? There was white men named, that was last name was Jones and Jackson. Because when you were sold to these different plantations, you were given that man's last name as what? As a receipt that you belong to that man. That's the property. So now we understand that, guess what? We call ourselves by the last names that don't belong to us. And we also took on a nationality that does not belong to us. African American was given to us because why? They had to strip us of the last names that we had that tied us back to the Bible. That tied us back to our true nationality. And how did that happen? In slavery. So remember what I said, sis, we're on the bottom of society, but God said we're the chosen people, right? So he said if we break his commandments, all these curses will come upon us, right? Let's get another curse. Give me verse 43. Verse 43.
Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
The stranger that was within us is talking about everybody, every nation that was not written on this sign. So when you look at this sign, look on the right side, my sister. Who do you see? What's your father? What's your father's nationality? African American? Okay, so when you look at this sign, you'll be from the tribe of Judah. So on and so forth, right? So let's say the stranger that is within thee is going to get above thee very high. Meaning what? When we were the chosen, we were on the top. But when we broke God's laws, guess what happened? The bottom, the so-called white man, the undesirable man, he now became the top and we came down very low. So now, the reason why you have purple, green, red, yellow in your head is why? Because we look at this man as beauty. The reason why you relax y'all's hair is because why? We look at this man for beauty. He became the top. Now we look to him for everything. Give me verse 48. This is what the Bible's letting us know. And now that we're on the bottom, do y'all think y'all in slavery right now?
Hell yeah.
Y'all think y'all in slavery? Let's prove it out the Bible. You don't have to have shackles. You don't have to have shackles on your neck and on your feet to be in slavery. I'm going to show you according to the Bible that we have spiritual shackles on our mind. Read what you got.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy,
Because you broke the laws of God, you're going to serve your enemies. Read.
which the Lord shall send against thee,
The Lord is the one that set this man up against us. Read.
in hunger,
So now, if you're hungry, think about it. If you have your own land, if you got your own nation, can you grow your own food? Think about it. We came from Jerusalem by way of Africa, right? We went through Africa and came over here. Imagine if we had our own land over there in Africa. Do we now have the land to grow our own food? If we had our own land in Africa, we could grow our own food, right? We wouldn't have to go to this man or the Arab man for food, would we? But no, what do we do today? We have to go to the Arab man for the groceries, for the liquor. We got to go to him for this, right? So what am I showing you? The Lord stripped us of our ability to feed ourselves, read.
and in thirst,
And when you're thirsty, meaning when you want water, guess who you gotta go to? If you had your own land that had natural lakes, it had an ocean, it had rivers, would you have to go to another nation for your water? No, you could go to your people. Maybe my sister right here on her plot of land, she has a lake or something like that. And she's able to give, you could go to your sister for that. But the Bible is saying now I want food for your thirst, to take a shower, to get a drink of water, what must you do? Who you got to pay your water bill to? You got to pay it to Evergy. Do we own Evergy? Do we own the water treatment plant? We rely on them to treat our water and send it to our house, don't we? So what am I showing you? We're relying on this other nation. Keep reading.
And the nakedness.
And for the textiles, so think about it. Again, we got our own land, right? We can grow the fabric that we need to make clothes, the wax that we need to make the clothes, right? But the Bible says, in your one of nakedness, you now got to go to another nation of people to clothe yourself. What is he showing you? He stripped you of your ability to take care of yourself. You are 100% dependent on these other nations to give you food, clothing, and water. And not just those three things. He continues further on to show us what else we got to depend on them for. Read.
And in want of all things.
It doesn't matter what it is. Whenever you was born, you had to go to that man to get your birth certificate. Whenever you graduated kindergarten, high school, college, that man signed your diploma. Whenever you got married, he signed your marriage license. When you got your driver's license, his name, he signed that for you. For the want of all things. And I'm going to tell you something, sis. For the want of your nationality, you had to go to him. When you go to Ancestry.com, you rely on his science to give you a nationality. When your religion, when you want to know how to serve God, guess who you had to go to? You had to go to this man right here. And if you didn't go to him, if you wanted to learn Islam, you had to go to the so-called Arab man. If you wanted to be a Buddhist, you had to go to the so-called Asian man. You see what I'm saying? At what point in time in history did we ever go to ourselves and serve a God that looked just like us? Never. Never. We've always been taught this man is God. Because why? This is the man that subdued us and brought us into subjection to his doctrines and philosophies. And that's the reason why you relax your hair. Because why? He shows you what beauty is. You see how your hair is relaxed?
I ain't relaxed my hair in 8 years.
You have it? Okay. But you see how your hair is straight? You see how your hair is straight? Look at this picture right here. What's his hair like? What's his hair like? Straight. All right, so what's his hair like? Wool textured hair. You see what I'm saying? We rely on this man for one of all things. Sister, your contacts, they nice. Where you get them from? What color is that? Right up the street. What color is it? They're jade color? Okay. Look at this man's eyes right here. Don't white people have jade color eyes? You see what I'm saying? You go to him for the one of your beauty. You don't feel beautiful unless what? This man approved it. Unless it's in his image. And I'm going to show you that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 65. This, hey, actually hold that. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. So what did I show you, sis? I asked you before. I said, is this in the Bible? Did I just showed it to you. I just showed it to you. Remember what I said? Your sons and your daughters be given to another people. You'll be cursed in the city and in the field. This is all of what you're seeing right here. Now, what do you see right there? What's that, sis?
You know they say like the knowledge we don't know. What's them slaves? Is them slaves?
That's slaves on a what? No, that's a boat. That's a boat. Now, this is the biggest question. Do you think slave ships are in the Bible? This is the deal breaker. This is the deal breaker. Do you think us being, how did we get here to America?
Man, they say, you know, they say like the knowledge, but we ain't got no knowledge, man.
How did they teach us in school? How did we get here? How did we get here from Africa?
On the boat?
On a boat. We was brought here on slave ships, right? So let's see if that's in the Bible. What am I showing you? I'm showing you that your nation, the so-called history, the so-called African American, is the history, is the prophecies that Moses was speaking about. Showing you what? You are Israelites according to the Bible. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. Read.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, what was the Israelites doing in Egypt?
Tell me.
Why did Moses have to free them?
See, I ain't read my Bible enough.
Moses had to free the slaves from Egypt. So the Bible said God is going to bring you into Egypt again. Let's see what Egypt is in the Bible. We're gonna break it down. We're going to make sure y'all understand this. Go ahead, sis. Deuteronomy, read that. Exodus 22.
Exodus 22. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Now, sis, what is bondage? Okay, tied up. Shackles on your hand, your feet, your neck. So the Bible said Egypt is synonymous with what? With bondage, with slavery. So when you hear Egypt, think of slavery. When you hear Egypt, think of this right here. Yes, Egypt means slavery, bondage. So think of this right here. All right, I want you to keep this in your mind. Go back to Deuteronomy 28 verse 68.
verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again
The Lord's going to bring you into slavery again.
with ships.
How's he going to bring us into slavery again?
With ships.
Hey, my brother, how did the so-called black man get over into America? From Africa. How we get over here, though? On boat. You think that's in the Bible? Let's read it again for the brother.
So they say lack of knowledge.
Hey, listen, since you saying that, but we giving you the
I know,
knowledge.
that's
You
why I
gotta
say
humble
yeah,
down
but
and
we
listen.
don't know, yeah.
Watch this. What's your name, bro? Watch this, bro. Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So what was the Israelites doing in Egypt? We was in slavery. So we just found out that Egypt means bondage. What's bondage? Like bound together. Like when the police, you ever got arrested before, they bound you behind your back, right? That's bondage. So shackles on your hand and on your feet. That's what Egypt is. It means bondage. So the Lord said he's going to bring us into bondage again.
With ships.
We're going to go back into bondage again with ships. Why do we go into bondage though? We go into bondage because of sin. And one of the things... Hope. That's why people smoke. That's why people overindulge in drinking, overindulge in sleeping from woman to woman, women sleeping from man to man, broken households. All that comes from sin and having no hope, having vacant self-esteem. So what we out here showing you is, bro, you're the greatest people to walk the earth.
That's right.
But so your actions gotta reflect it. Watch this, bro.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Know ye not that you the temple of God? Because God, why? He dwells amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. What's your nationality? Like, what's your nationality? You African American. So make it make sense. If a Chinese man, when he says he's Chinese, what's that mean? What do you automatically think in your head where he comes from? China. When you think of the so-called Arab man, what land do you think he come from when you hear he's Arab? Arabian, right? So all their nationalities go back to a land. When you say that you African American, how can you be from two different continents? You see what I'm saying? Either you from Africa or you from America. Which one is it? So how is it that we got this name? Because why? We started serving it. We went into captivity to this man right here.
That's right.
What I'm showing you is you're an Israelite. And this is the reason why you even call yourself African American. Read what you got.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16.
Hey, watch this too, sis. Read it.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
Y'all are the temple of God, whether y'all believe that or not. Y'all are the temple of God. Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
Because why? The Lord deals with the 12 tribes of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
So, bro, my sister, when we smoke cigarettes, that's defiling the temple of God. You put it out. Listen, when you smoke that, what is that on the back of that pack before you bust it open? What's the Surgeon General warning say? May cause cancer. We can't find cancer in the Bible. But the Bible just said if you defile God's temple, he's going to destroy you. So let's see how God chooses to destroy those that want to defile their temple with smoking, with over drinking, with putting drugs in their arm, snorting coke, all that stuff. That's destroying. Now come here, sis. Come here. I know I struck a chord. But this is what the Bible's meant to do. It's meant to cut asunder, to divide, cut spirits. Read what you got. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 61. Why? Hey, my sister, listen to this.
I'm listening.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of the law.
It's not written in the book of the law because guess what? HIV is not written in the Bible.
Right.
Lung cancer is not written in the Bible. Emphysema is not written in the Bible. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, all these things are not written in the Bible. But how do we? Hey, you said it's man-made. All right, how do you perceive that it's man-made? And I want you to listen to this, Brim. I want you to listen to this. Why do you think the Bible's man-made? Oh, you said, the diseases. My fault, bro. So these diseases that's man-made came from who? This is Caesar Borgia. This is the one that we serve for the want of all things. Even the thought that the Bible is man-made comes from this man right here.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.